Hey everyone, end of the day, things are going pretty good. Start of the new day, we're at the middle, whatever you want to call it, the turning point. This video will probably be uploaded the start of the new day, so um, we didn't get the snow. It actually turned out to be pretty decent today. It was cold and windy, but that's the way it goes in this state. It's either cold, snowy, or windy. Once in a while, then during the summertime, it's hot, windy, or muggy, or dry. You know, it's one of those things you just kind of, yeah. And nobody ever seems to be satisfied with the way it goes. So I try not to get too upset. I don't like the cold though. I'm a big not cold fan. So it's kind of weird, but I'll take the cold over the giant bugs. So I think that's pretty much sums up all of life, though. There's nothing ever really truly perfect in life. Um, a pretty cool part about it is uh, you gotta be willing to sacrifice something to let something go. Um, you pretty much gotta take the good with the bad. And when it comes to anything, whether it's a relationship, whether it's work, you know, how it's a great job, but I don't get paid that much. But the people I work with are great. The hours are perfect, or you always give up something for something. There really truly is no such thing as a perfect job. There's really no such thing as a perfect relationship. You know, it's amazing people's opinions. When I talk about my wife and I refer to my wife, I say she's perfect for me. To me, she's a perfect woman. You know, but she's got mistakes. She makes mistakes. She's imperfect in that respect. But it's kind of weird because where I fall short, she makes up for, and where she falls short, I'm right there to help her along the way. So we our pluses and minuses, help each other out. So and that's what makes the relationship perfect. And that's the job. My last job I was at. I got paid pretty decent, but the hours were horrible. Heck, I was working graveyard. Okay, when most people are sleeping, I'm up and still working till you know 7 o'clock in the morning. And then while everybody else is getting up, what am I doing? Doing some running around, getting some stuff done so that I can go to sleep and be to bed by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's kind of weird because when I was a kid, I used to party till about 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd crash out. And I was lucky to be up by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, uh, our lives really changed considerably. Um, when I was even younger yet, I uh, I remember being on the farm. Heck, I would be up by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning easy, and I would be going till I think it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something like that at night. Just finishing up and doing oddball stuff, and then by 10, 11 o'clock, I was in bed sleeping. Which you sit there and you think you go to bed at 10 o'clock, let's say, after you got everything done and you know um, put away and you helped out with the chores and that, And that's 7 hours of sleep. If you were to go to bed right at 10 o'clock and then be up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're talking, what, maybe 7 hours of sleep, 8 if you're lucky. And I always thought it was funny because people are like, well, I can't survive without anything less than, it's amazing. It's like, well, maybe it's because you've never had to do it. It was kind of nice though being on the farm for that time because in a way it kind of prepared me for when I was in the Navy. Because when I was in the military, we worked 6 hours on, 6 hours off, 6 hours on, 6 hours off, you know. Um, and of course, I had the graveyard shift, which meant I went in at midnight and I was done at 6 in the morning. So, my day literally, and that kind of helped prepare me for working overnight. So, there's all different aspects of my life in one point in time help prepare me for another point in time. Um, at the time I look back and at that moment it didn't make much sense to me. And when I was out on the farm, I was like, why the hell would somebody, pardon the language, go through all this crap just to get paid so little, to be a farmer? I mean, it's not a real glorious job. It's not glamorous. Um, Now I look back and it was a very simple way of life, as in, you just go out, you do the job, you're done at the end of the day. I mean, there was no real glamour. There was no real limelight to it. There was no real, hi, look at me, I'm out here, You weren't out in the spotlight, but, it was a necessary job to be a farmer. Just like when I was working at my last job, it's a necessary job to do that, you know. You basically can't uh, say you have no need of a different thing, or this is good but this isn't. Um, that's like saying that fast food job is beneath you. I've done fast food, and you know what? If somebody doesn't do it, who's going to serve up your food? Who's going to be the one at McDonald's giving you your burgers, or Burger King, or Wendy's, or, any of the burger joints, there's 50 million of them, you know. But who's going to be the one to do it? So, yeah, it seems to be a thankless job. It seems to be a mundane job, but you know what? There's a job for everybody and anybody, There really is. Um, and I think there's a lesson to be learned each and every day, whether it's at your job, in a relationship. It doesn't matter. Me driving through traffic, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I think when you think you've stopped learning, you really have stopped living. When you get to a point where you think you know it all, you should soon realize that you really don't know anything, because no one knows it all. No one. Yeah, you can find it. You can find out certain answers. I mean, that's why we got Google and Chrome, and you got all kinds of different stuff. You can search up on the internet. Like you just say Google search and it would start searching for you. You've got different apps on those little speakers, Lexus or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird because in the age of the informational highway, no one person knows it all, but there is something there, tangible, that we can always look for those answers. And that's kind of why I put these videos out here, is because they're lessons I've learned and things that I've seen, I've witnessed, my take on life, so to speak, and it'll outlive me. These videos will outlive me, and potentially what I have here and I record each and every day, there's always the potential uh, to last forever. I'm serious. I mean, the words that I speak now potentially could last forever. Um, it's all digitized. It's digital. So somebody can go back and look at it and say, hey, this guy wasn't so stupid after all, or this guy's an ignorant fool. Plus, you know, another good thing about it is I can look at my own videos 10 years from now and watch them and look at them and figure out and say, hey, I learned so much more since those videos were first released. You know, I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for the reaching the finish line. You know, fast runners are good, but only over long distances. If you got a fast short runner and he's got to go a long distance, I tell you right now, won't make it. Won't make it. You know, most runners don't sprint all the way through an entire race. They go at a decent speed, don't get me wrong, but they save it up. They wait till they get to the last little bit, and then they give it its more than its 110%. I mean, you ever watch a runner run races? That's what they look like. They got a good solid stride going, and they're going at a fast clip, and then they come around, you know, whatever turn, and it's not by accident. Okay, they know when the end's coming, and they know how long they can sustain that extremely fast paced sprint, and that's what they go for. You know, they're like, okay, I can make it half this at a fast pace, but I can't make it the entire race at this extremely fast pace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out fast, then I'm going to kind of keep my momentum going, but I'm going to slow down. And then when I get to the last leg of this thing, I'm just going to push myself that much harder till I hit the end and then be done with it. You know, I used to run. And you know what's ironic about running a race? We're called the human race. Okay? Um, and that's the way life is meant to be. Run. Run so that you may achieve, you may receive, that you may release, that you may, you know, accomplish your goal. You know, so those are the words of wisdom I've got for you today. Take them to heart. And I look forward to hearing and seeing and talking to you guys later. By all means, leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you'd like to subscribe. And if I've taught you anything or you have something to teach me, leave a comment. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day, morning, night. Bye for now.